John Beltran and Jen Goodall back from Yuma High School getting ready for the game of the year so far. The second-ranked team in 2A by the Denver Post, the Yuma Indians at 8-0. Against the third-ranked team in 3A, the 8-0 Brush Beat Diggers. Starting lineups to be introduced momentarily. The Beat Diggers on Friday night defeated Strasburg 66-40 in Brush. Only their second game of the year at home. They've been very impressive on the road, no question about it. Wins at Bishop, Matchbub, and Sheridan to begin the year. At University, that team is ranked 7th in the most recent poll, and they beat them 50-37 6 nights ago. But this might be, with this atmosphere, the biggest test for the Beat Diggers this season. They've had quite a few tests already.
They have. I don't know if they've gotten a team that is quite as quick as Yuma. Yuma looks pretty quick. Just watching them in warm-up, their ball handling skills look really well, so we're going to have to play some good defense tonight.
The Beat Diggers have the starting lineup as follows. The senior Mitch Tormolen is in the middle, along with juniors Trey Cranston, Randy Baker, Jeffrey Dunker, and Kyle Rosenbrock. And that's the beauty, because they rotate so many players, you never know who's going to be starting for Brush. Tormolen always starts, but they have shifted so many players. Usually Jeffrey Dunker, because he handles the ball so well, is normally another starter for the Beat Diggers, and he is out there. Now for the Yuma Indians. They go with Michael Howell in that starting lineup. Howell for Yuma. They don't have this in numerical order. It's almost like we have to hunt down some of these players in terms of where they are. Jaden Koenig, a 6'2 junior, along with Justin Koenig, also at 6'2 and also a junior. Monty Valise, very athletic player, a 5'9 senior, along with Brody Butel, a 5'9 senior for Yuma. And as I mentioned, Michael Howell, a 6'2 senior. They don't have a ton of size in this team, but neither do the Beat Diggers, which means with an 8-0 record, as you mentioned, lots of athleticism, lots of speed and quickness.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to see. It'll be interesting to see whose offense is working against whose defense. Just looking at both of these teams, they're both sound in both aspects of the game, so it's going to come down to defensive stop.
Opening tip tonight is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. With 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan, they can help you with home, car, health, or life insurance questions or needs. Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. One team will improve to 9-0. The other will drop to 8-1. The Beat Diggers are playing their 7th road game of the season. And the tip is controlled by Mitch Tormolen over to Kyle Rosenbrock. Here's Randy Baker into the front court over to Trey Cranston on the high left. Cranston, crossover dribble, guarded closely by Valise, picks up the dribble, jump pass to Baker. Baker left to the lane, leans back out towards Rosenbrock, and the pass is intercepted. Intercepted by Brody Butel. Here's Monty Valise with the basketball, spinning, bounce pass down low in the lane to Koenig, and wrestled away by Kyle Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock across the timeline on the outside right. Near the timeline now to Baker. Baker against Valise, lob to Tormolen. Tormolen at the top of the basketball. Tormolen still looking. That's a 5-second call. Had to get rid of it, did not. The Beat Diggers turn it over for a second time. And into the front court will be Brody Butel for Yuma. Picked up by Cranston. Spinning against Cranston. On the outside right with the basketball is Jaden Koenig. Lean, shoots, scores. Straight away from about 7 feet for Jaden Koenig. Yuma's on the scoreboard first. Dunker for the Beat Diggers. Picked up at midcourt by Jaden Koenig. On the outside left now in the front court. Looking. Bounce pass to Cranston. Holding the ball up high. Now to Baker. Face from 14. And it's off the left side of the rim. The ball is tipped around. And it's still loose. And it's taken to the front court by Butel all the way. And he's fouled by Baker as he went up for the shot. And Brody Butel to shoot 2. And the Beatnickers might be in the position that they've got to make their first shot before they can get going. University got off to a quick 4-0 lead 6 nights ago. And then once Brush scored, they took a 5-4 lead and never trailed thereafter. The free throw by Butel is good. 3-0 in favor of Yuma. Second free throw upcoming for Brody Butel. And that one is up and that one is in. Dunker for Brush. Will call out the play as he dribbles into the front court. The bounce pass to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock down low for Baker. Foul from behind by Monty Belize. Stubbs Gas and Oil at I-76 and Highway 39 in Wiggins. Don't delay and get there to see why convenience is Stubbs' middle name, Stubbs Gas and Oil.
And what I liked about that play was Randy realized that he had a smaller guard on him, so he took advantage of it.
Cranston lobs it to Rosenbrock. Down low for Cranston. Up and under. He banks and misses, but he's fouled. Nice head fake there by Trey Cranston. And it was Justin Koenig committing the foul. Cranston to the line. The Beatnickers passed the ball extremely well.
Well, that was a great read by Cranston. He just stepped in where the Yuma player left his spot on defense.
The free throw is good. Second free throw upcoming for Cranston. He bends, he shoots, and he scores. Glass and rim, and it went in. Yuma 4, Brush 2. Butel against Cranston. Dribbles by him, back out now to Jaden Koenig. Koenig runs into Dunker, who falls down. No whistle. Crossover dribble now to Jaden Koenig. Right corner shot is up, and it's around, no good. Kyle Rosenbrock with a rebound for the Beatnickers. Rosenbrock into the front court to Dunker. Dunker at the free throw line, spinning left of the lane. Over the left corner, Baker penetrates the baseline all the way, and the shot is blocked from behind by Butel, and it's taken away by Michael Howell. In the backcourt is Jaden Koenig. Now to Butel. Right wing 3 is up and good. Brody Butel makes it a 7-2 Yuma lead. 5:53 remaining first quarter. Dunker for Brush into the front court. Met by Jaden Koenig. Swings it right side to Tormolin. Bounce pass to Baker. Nearly fouled from behind. Baker turns, shoots, forces, misses. And with a rebound is Monty Belize. Yeah, that was not a good shot. Jaden Koenig into the front court. Slams into Rosenbrock. Back out to Belize. Down low, here's Justin Koenig. And his shot is up and in from about 7 feet away. Timeout. Brought to you by Greg Mullins of State Farm Insurance by the Beatnickers. 5:29 to go. In the opening quarter, Yuma 9, Brush 2, and the Beatnickers, again, just like the girls, they've got to weather the storm, come back and get into a rhythm offensively.
Well, and they've done this before where they've gotten down in the first quarter and they've turned it around after the kind of the smoke settles, so to speak. You know, this is a home crowd. Yuma's fired up. We're fired up to play Yuma as well, so they just got to be patient, run their offense, run it through a few times, not one pass and a shot thing. I'm sure that Coach Garcia is telling them just that same very thing. And that, get after the board.
Yeah, I was looking at the schedule for the remainder of the season, and with the Beatnickers at 8-0, their 2 toughest tests are tonight and on February the 19th against Sterling. Those are their 2 toughest tests. This is why this is a big game for Brush, even though Yuma is in a lower classification. Austin Garcia is into the game now. As is Bryce Needens, who's got the basketball. Needens, a very good three-point shooter, dribbles to the free throw line. Against Butel, picks up the dribble, looking, spinning. Over to Tormolin at the top. Tormolin outside left at Dunker. Dunker dribbles left baseline, and he's fouled by Jaden Koenig. And if the officials call this tight, that's going to benefit the Beatnickers because Yuma is too physical at times.
I think they're going to have to call it tight in order to keep control of this game.
Austin Garcia to throw it in. Left baseline to Tormolin, hands it off to Garcia, and Garcia was on the line. Third turnover for Brush. Yuma with a three-pointer could take a double-digit lead even though we haven't played even 3 minutes. Butel across the timeline, guarded by Dunker, spinning on Dunker, right to the lane, all the way, scoops it up off the side of the backboard. Rebound to Mitch Tormolin. On the outlet to Dunker, swings it, left corner Garcia, 3 in the air, is no good. And the rebound to Bryce Needens, nice board by Needens. Here's Rosenbrock, 3, that's off the back of the rim. And Butel has the rebound and falls on top of a Beatnicker in Jeffrey Dunker. And they're going to call Dunker for the foul. Dunker with his first. And again, the lid is on for the Beatnickers because they're having trouble scoring right now with 4:47 to go in the opening quarter. And Dunker strips Butel. Dunker all the way will scoop it up and in for Jeffrey Dunker. Nice defensive play by the junior. 9-4 Yuma, 4.5 to go in the first. Here's Butel, right wing three, partially blocked. Taken away by Dunker. Wide open is Garcia. Garcia with the basketball all the way. Lee shoots. Fouled as he missed. Foul was committed over there by Butel. His first. And the Beatnickers are bringing the defense now.
They are, and Jeffrey did a good job. He had 2 Yuma players on him, and he was still able to see Austin down the floor.
Garcia to shoot 2. Nice job of Garcia putting up his hand. You got to communicate on the court, and the free throw is up, and that is in and out. Second free throw upcoming. Yuma's finding out that the Beatnickers should play some defense because they've been very good defensively these last couple of possessions. Second free throw by Garcia is up, and that is around it and misses it. And the rebound controlled by Justin Koenig. Got to make those free throws. Left corner, Butel penetrates left baseline, switch it down low, poked away by Rosenbach. And take it away, here's Dunker. Dunker into the front court, in the lane, all the way, scoops it up, and he's fouled as he misses. Let's see who the foul is against. Well, it is against Michael Howell. That's his first. And to the line is Jeffrey Dunker to shoot 2. The free throw is up, and that is around and off to the right. Brush is 2 out of 5 for the line. And you can do some nice things defensively as Kyle Rosenbach checks out and Jacob Brown is in. But if you don't hit the free throws, the defense almost doesn't matter. Second free throw upcoming. Brush is still down by 5, and that one is up, and that one's in. Yuma 9, Brush 5, 4:10 to go in the opening quarter. Yuma girls won tonight over Brush 61-39. On the outside left of the basketball is Belize. On the outside right into the game is Kirchenschlager. Trevor Kirchenschlager. Jump pass nearly tipped away, but taken away over there by Jaden Koenig. Koenig against Brown. Left to the lane. Back out to Justin Koenig. Justin swings it back out to Belize. Belize against Bryce Needens. Dribbling at the top, swings it left side to Justin Koenig. Fakes a 3, steps in, back out to Belize. Belize with the basketball against Bryce Needens. Bounce pass back out to Koenig. 3 in the air. Good. Nailed by Jaden Koenig. Yuma 12, Brush 5, under 3.5 to go in the opening quarter. Needens for Brush into the front court. Crossover dribble. Left corner for Brown. He'll take the 3, and that is no good. Rebound, Tormolen goes back up and scores. Off the glass for Mitch Tormolen. Big offensive rebound by the senior. Yuma leads Brush 12-7. 3:10 to go, first quarter. Here is Jaden Koenig back out to Belize against Dunker. Strip by Dunker. Dunker with 1 to beat. Dunker all the way, goes up and he's blocked out of bounds by Kirchenschlager. Nonetheless, the Beatnickers force Yuma's 4th turnover. Chase Murphy checks in for Yuma. And Garcia to trigger it in. With 3:02 to go in the first. Garcia to the right of the basket in the left corner for Tormolen. Back out to Needens. Now to Garcia, left of the lane. Jump pass to Dunker. Right corner, and we've got a traveling violation. Off that pass to Jake Brown. Beatnickers with their 4th turnover. I didn't see the travel, but it was called. Beatnickers applied some light pressure. With the basketball is Monty Belize. Dribbles by Needens left of the lane. Cross court. Kirchenschlager takes the 3, and that's no good. Mitch Tormolen grabs the rebound for the Beatnickers. Tormolen with his 3rd. On the outlet to Needens into the front court. Needens right of the lane. Needens all the way. Scoops it up on the runner. No good. And the ball is loose. It's out of bounds. It is off of Yuma. Beatnickers still retain possession. 2:36 to go in first quarter. Yuma with a 12-6 lead, and the Beatnickers have shot the ball poorly, and they're only down by 5.
They have, and neither team is rebounding exceptionally well. Both teams have gotten their hands on putbacks, so to speak, and the defensive rebounding isn't that awesome either.
Ben Mickey into the game, back out to Randy Baker. Baker on the outside left to Garcia. He'll take the 3, and that's well short. And the ball is rebounded nicely over there by Jaden Koenig. Koenig across the timeline, 5-on-4, pulls up from 15. Foul by Randy Baker from behind as he missed. And Baker now has 2 fouls. He might go to the bench pretty quickly here. He barely played after he started the game. And Jaden Koenig has 5 points. And he will attempt 2 free throws. Yuma coached by Bob Rom, Ken Garcia, the Beatniggers head coach, and the free throw is no good. Second free throw coming, and Kyle Rosenbach is into the game for Randy Baker. Michael Howe was out briefly. He's back in for Justin Koenig. Second free throw to be attempted by Jaden Koenig. That is up, and that's well short. And the rebound to Kyle Rosenbach is second on the outlet to Needens. Yuma 12, Brush 7, 2:17 to go first quarter. Needens behind his back with the basketball near the top, and the ball is thrown in the backcourt, saved by Garcia, but the Indians have it. Here is Butel, and did he throw it away? No, it was tipped out of bounds on that pass by the Beatniggers. Yuma retains possession. And Butel to trigger it in. Butel looking, lobs it near the top. Over to Chase Murphy, back out to Butel. With 2 minutes remaining first quarter, Butel against Bryce Needens. Back out to Kirchenschlager in the lane, slams into Garcia, and a foul, not on Garcia, but I think on Ben Mickey, who got him with a body. That'll be the 14th foul against the Beatniggers. Are they going to change the call? Officials are discussing it, but I think Ben Mickey did commit the Beatnigger foul. His first. On the floor, Butel to throw it in with 1:57 to go in the first. Butel lobs it over to Kirchenschlager near the timeline. Poked away by Garcia, out of bounds. It'll stay with Yuma. The Beatniggers have been very stingy defensively, but Yuma shot the ball pretty well. Butel just beyond midcourt. To lob it in cross-court to Howell against Jacob Brown. And then he lost the ball out of bounds. Howell said he was pushed. Nobody saw it. Nice acting job. There was no push at all.
There wasn't even any body contact.
Yeah, I don't know what he's saying.
I saw daylight between bodies.
Yeah, when a player makes excuses, it doesn't look good. Bryce Needens for Brush into the front court. Bounce pass to the top for Rosenbach. Rosenbach down low, terribly forced pass. It's loose. Rosenbach drives for the ball, then he throws it away. Taken away by Yuma. Here's Hal the other way. He banks and misses, but fouled by Ben Mickey, who commits his second. That time there was contact. Hal can claim that one. They'll shoot 2. Committed to serving those in production. Ag, Premier Farm Credit, is the gold standard in ag lending. Yuma waiting to make substitutions with a 12-7 lead with 1.5 minutes to go. And to the line is Michael Howell. And the free throw is in the air, and that one is good. Second free throw upcoming. Jaden Koenig and Trevor Kirchenschlager are out. Monty Belize back in. Connor Black into the game for the first time. Indians lead by 6. Mitch Tormolen getting ready to check back in for Brush. That free throw is up, and that one is deep and off to the right. Kyle Rosenbach has his third board. On the outlet to Needens. Long baseball pass there. Chest bounce pass to Mickey to Rosenbach. Down low for Brown. Brown then will travel. Never see this out of the Brush. 7 turnovers in 1 quarter.
Well,
and a lot of it is their own doing.
Right. I think Jake just kind of panicked. He was underneath, and he knew he bobbled it, so he knew he was going to get challenged at the basket. I think he should have just gone up with it anyway and got fouled.
You'll tell for Yuma against Bryce Needens. Spinning on Needens. Right corner. Belize fakes a 3, steps in, and then has it nearly stripped by Rosenbach. Nearly lost control. Jump pass to Black. Wide open 3 is off to the left. And the rebound to Mitch Tormolen. Tormolen with his 4th board. And then, well, we got somebody who went down on the Brush bench as the ball went out of bounds. And looks like Pablo Gutierrez is okay. And Austin Garcia to throw it in. Well, these offenses just can't really get going either even on Yuma's side.
Yep, that's what I was saying. It's going to be a defensive game.
Bryce Needens calls out the play with 55 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Outside right to Rosenbach. Rosenbach looking down low. Lobs it to Garcia. He turns and he shoots and he scores. A friendly roll for Austin Garcia, who had position on the defender. Yuma 13, Brush 9. 40 seconds remaining first quarter. Belize with the basketball on the outside left to Howell. Fakes the 3, guarded by Brown. At the top for Black. Outside right. And then the layup is up and in. Up the pass from Belize to Michael Howell, who cut to the basket and beat the Beatniger defender. Yuma 15, Brush 9. 24 seconds remaining first quarter. Bounce pass high right to Rosenbach. Rosenbach looking, still looking. In the right corner, the three is up and good by Bryce Needens. He nails the triple. That's a big three-pointer. Brush down by 3, 15-12. 8 seconds to go. Butel looks up at the clock, spins on Needens. 15-foot shot is up and short. The rebound to Bryce Needens. Needens, long pass towards Rosenblock, intercepted by Belize. That is the end of the opening quarter. With the score, Yuma 15, Brush 12 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. Two state championship contenders, Yuma in 2A and Brush in 3A, are battling right now as we begin the second quarter in Yuma. The Indians lead the Beatniggers 15-12. Jaden Koenig, Justin Koenig, Monty Belize, Michael Howell, and Brody Butel for Yuma. Bryce Needens, Trey Cranston, Mitch Torbolin, Jeffrey Dunker, and Kyle Rosenbrock for Brush. On the outside right, Jaden Koenig with the basketball, guarded by Needens. And that's a foul, a hold on Needens. That's a team foul. That's a good call. Get his hand on him.
He did, and Coach Garcia is asking for the same kind of call coming back the other way.
Absolutely. 16 fouls against Brush, 5 against Yuma. Koenig to throw it into Butel. Against Dunker, crossover dribble. On the outside right to Koenig, guarded by Rosenbrock. Koenig with the basketball. Back out to Butel, behind the three-point line. Crossover dribble in the right corner for Belize, and then that pass is tipped away, intercepted by Jeffrey Dunker. Dunker at the top for Brush, at the free throw line, into the lane, all the way. His runner's up and up the back of the rim, and the ball is tipped into the hands of the Indians, and Jaden Koenig, and he leaves and scores off the glass the other way from about 7 feet away. Koenig went coast to coast. He's got 7 points in the game. Yuma 17, Brush 12. 50 seconds into the second quarter. Cranston with the basketball. Bounce pass to Needens. Needens on the outside left against Jaden Koenig. Bounce pass up top for Torbolin. Torbolin looking down low. Right side to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock looking for Dunker. Dribbles to his right. Back to the top to Torbolin. Torbolin down low for Dunker. In the lane, kicks it back out. Needens 3 in the air, and that's going to be long. Rebound Dunker. Dunker in the lane swings it inside to Cranston. Cranston then over to Rosenbrock. His shot is an air ball. And the other way, here comes Yuma. Jaden Koenig with the basketball. Koenig back out to Belize. Belize at the free throw line. Swings it left side over to Butel. And they will reset. Here is Koenig. His leader off the glass is up and no good, but a foul. Took the same shot. 17 foul against Brush, but it's a 2-shot foul anyway. Bryce Needens commits the second. They need him because he can shoot the 3, and they need to stretch the floor offensively.
Well, and Bryce just got his nose a little bit ahead of his toes. In basketball, that's deadly. They can go right by you.
Jaden Koenig to shoot 2. He is 0 out of 2 from the line, and now he's 0 out of 3. He's not getting to the rim, or barely getting to the rim. Second free throw upcoming. The Beatniggers have not led in the game. Second free throw is up, and that one is perfect. Yuma 18, Brush 12. With 6:24 remaining second quarter. Beatniggers still looking for that run that they're used to putting on. Dunker, crossover dribble in the lane, trap back out to Needens, fakes a 3, jump pass to Rosenbrock, left baseline shot is no good, very short. And the rebound is controlled by Brody Butel, who lost the ball. And, that was tipped away. It looked like Butel dribbled it out of bounds, but they're going to say it was off a Brush. I didn't see that. I thought he just lost the ball. Didn't see it, didn't see it either.
Yeah, I think the official got blinded a little bit by the body.
Here comes Monty Belize into the front court. The Beatniggers have not scored in the first 2 minutes of the quarter. On the outside right to Jaden Koenig, guarded by Jake Brown. Swings it cross court to Hal. Hal with the basketball. On the outside left to Butel, dribbling to his right. Picked up by Jeffrey Dunker. Crossover dribble. Dribbles by Dunker. Here's Michael Howell, left baseline. He stepped on the end line. Turnover number 7. Committed by Yuma. The Beatniggers have 8, but none so far here in the quarter. However, they cannot score. 18-12. It was 15-12 after 1. Brush looking for their first points of the quarter. Dunker across the timeline at the top with the basketball, dribbling left to the lane. He's cut off, maintains the dribble, left baseline, underneath the basket, reverse layup, partially blocked and taken away by Michael Howell. The Indians the other way with Butel, 15-foot leader, blocked over there by Jake Brown and taken by Dunker. Dunker with a long pass to Rosenbrock, banks and scores! Timeout Yuma. Oh, that was a thing of beauty by the Beatniggers.
Did you see how high Jake Brown got up on that?
Yeah, that was
holy cow.
to block a jump shot from Butel, who can get a very high himself, not foul him, for Dunker to catch that, and then throw a laser right to Rosenbrock, who was wide open. That's an impressive play defensively and offensively, and the Beatniggers to within 4 at 18-14 with 5:16 to go in the second quarter. I'm John Beltran with Jen Goodall, and what we are seeing on both ends, massive displays of athleticism.
And defense. I mean, this is a very low-scoring game, I'm sure, for both of these teams.
It'll be Monty Belize to throw it in. The Beatniggers now with Garcia, Cranston, Brown, Rosenbrock, and Tormolen. Howell, Jaden Koenig, Justin Koenig, Brody Butel, and the inbounds pass for Belize. Into the front court is Butel against Garcia. Bounce pass to Jaden Koenig. At the top for Howell. On the left wing to Butel, guarded by Garcia. At the top now for Belize. Right-handed pass to Howell against Rosenbrock. Bounce pass right in the lane to Justin Koenig. Swings it back out to Jaden Koenig. Pressured over there by Brown on the high right to Butel. 4:53 to go second quarter. Yuma 18 plus 14. Outside left to Koenig. Dribbling by Brown. Leans, shoots, misses. Rebound to Tormolen. Tormolen grabs his 5th rebound. The outlet to Garcia. Garcia across the timeline. Guarded by Koenig. Dribbles into the lane. Pulls up from 10, and that is no good. Rebound Tormolen, but they're going to call him for a foul. That means Michael Howell will go to the line. 18th foul against Brush. And for Tormolen, that is going to be his first. Howell to shoot the 1-and-1. And the Beatniggers don't have the best percentage for the field tonight. Trevor Kirchenschlager getting ready to check in. Michael Howell, 1 out of 2 for the line, is at the strike for Yuma. Your one-stop center for projects around your home office or yard, and they now carry appliances is Ackley Building Center. Ackley Building Center, 1402 Mill Street in Brush. The free throw by Howell is in the air, and that is in. Nothing but string for Howell. Yuma leads Brush 19-14, 4:36 to go, second quarter. Second free throw upcoming. He bends, he shoots, and he misses off to the left. Kyle Rosenbrock with his 4th rebound on the outlet to Cranston. Cranston across the timeline, guarded by Belize. Back out to Rosenbrock. On the outside right, here's Brown. Swings it off to Garcia. Garcia gets the pick of the free throw line. Jump pass to Rosenbrock down low. Tipped away, intercepted by Koenig. The Beatniggers with their 9th turnover of the game, the first of the quarter. Belize across the timeline with Yuma leading by 5. 19-14. Bounce pass for Justin Koenig at the free throw line. Guarded by Tormolen. Koenig swings it back out, and we got a 5-second violation on Justin Koenig. Turnover number 8 against Yuma. Trevor Kirchenschlager into the game for Michael Howell for the Indians. Trey Cranston is out. And Jeffrey Dunker back in. He took a brief breather.
And both teams seem to be staying in a man-to-man.
Here is Dunker for Brush. Into the front court on the outside, left to Austin Garcia. Gets a pick from Tormolen. Jump pass to Tormolen. Takes a dribble. He banks and scores to the left of the basket for Mitch Tormolen. Tormolen with 4. The Beatniggers are within 3. 19-16. 3:42 to go. Second quarter. Butel against Dunker. Nearly stripped from behind. Here's the shot up and in left baseline by Justin Koenig. Seems every time the Beatniggers score, so does Yuma. That's why it's a 5-point separation. 21-16. Garcia behind his back. Left of the lane. Jump pass towards Rosenbrock out of bounds. He thought Rosenbrock was cutting. He did not. And the turnover is the 10th for the Beatniggers. Now the Beatniggers have got to play the defense here. Down by 5. Into the front court is Jaden Koenig. Bodied up by Brown. Back out to Belize. 3 in the air. Is off to the right. Mitch Tormolen grabs his 6th rebound for Brush. On the outlet to Dunker on the outside left. Dunker with a basketball. Spins. Left of the lane. In the lane. Scoops it up. He's fouled as he misses. Strong move by Jeffrey Dunker. It will shoot 2.
Well, and he did a good job of controlling his body enough to get the block instead of the charge call.
Justin Koenig with his 2nd foul. Well, that's why you stay upright instead of leaning into the defender. Free throw by Dunker is off to the right. You don't have to close on your house alone. Northern Colorado Title at 130 West Kiowa and Fort Morgan will provide you with a stress-free closing. Northern Colorado Title, Irvin Vasquez into the game for the Indians. The Beatnickers have not shot well for the free throw line so far. And second free throw back rim. Kyle Rosenbrock has the rebound for Brush. The Tormola now to Dunker. His shot is up and off the back of the rim. And the ball is controlled by the Indians. Kirchenslager the other way. Back out towards Chase Murphy back in the game. Brush in the line. 3 out of 8. That's unacceptable. Butel down low. Intended for Murphy. Knocked it out by Garcia. Here comes Ben Mickey into the game. And you're down by 5, and your free throw shooting has been atrocious. 37.5%. Butel to trigger it in. Down low to Kirchenslager. He fades, and he throws up an air ball. I guess it was tipped away by Rosenbrock. It was. Yuma retains possession. Butel to throw it in. Butel looking. Lobs it towards the top. Taken over there by Murphy. Back out to Butel. Penetrates left baseline. And it's blocked by Tormola. And Tormola commits the foul. Tormola didn't like it. Looked like he got off ball. That'll be Tormola's second foul. Oh, he said he got him across the wrist. I didn't see that.
Maybe the body, but I didn't see anything. I saw all ball. His hand was on top of it.
Butel with 2 free throws. First free throw's in the air, and that's good. Yeah, that was a bad call. Second free throw upcoming. The Indians now lead 22-16, 2:39 to go. Second quarter. That one is up, and that one is in. Well, that's what they've done. They've shot free throws. Not great, but better than Brush. And they're 7 out of 11 tonight. Brush is 3 out of 8.
And Jacob Nichols is in for Mitch Vermolen.
23-16 Yuma, approaching the 2.5-minute mark of the second quarter. Austin Garcia across the timeline, picked up by Vasquez, dribbling right to the lane. Back out to Jacob Brown, now to Ben Mickey. 3 in the air is up and well short, and the ball is volleyball out of bounds off of the Indians. Beatnickers retain possession. Jeffrey Dunker will check back into the game for Ben Mickey. Now, Brush has been stone cold offensively this quarter, only 4 points. Garcia looking, still looking. Lobs it in towards Brown. Brown just beyond the timeline with a basketball, dribbling into the lane, back out to Dunker. Dunker against Koenig. Dunker, crossover dribble, spinning, back out towards Garcia, gets in the backcourt, loose in the floor, picked up by Butel. Beatnickers turn it over for the 11th time, and then a double dribble by Brody Butel, the 9th turnover for Yuma. Beatnicker basketball. Even in the first half, a 3-possession game seems large because of the limited number of points. Rush is drawn to within 5, but then Yuma comes right back. Garcia with the basketball, bounce pass to Dunker. Dunker on the high left, looking for a pick from Rosenbrock. Penetrates left baseline, underneath the basket. Jump pass, back out to Brown. The shot is up and in! That's a 2-pointer inside the 3-point line for Jake Brown. Beatnickers to within 5, 23-18, 1:40 to go, second quarter. Butel with the basketball just beyond the timeline, near the top, swings to the left side to Vasquez against Garcia. Gets a pick from Kirchenslager at the free throw line, right corner. Shot by Koenig is up and good. That is a 3 by Jaden Koenig. And he's got 11 points in the game. Yuma up by 8, 26-18, 1:20 to go in the second. Dunker crossover dribble on the right side. Right baseline, swings it at the top for Garcia. Straightaway 3 in the air. It's a brick off to the right. Rebound Brown. His shot is up and good. On the right baseline, Jake Brown. He scored the last 4 Beatnicker points. Brush to within 6, 26-20. 1 minute to go, second quarter. Vasquez against Dunker, right of the lane. He leans, he puts up a shot, and it's forced. It's an air ball. Jake Brown has the ball for Brush on the outlet to Garcia with 49 seconds to go before the break. A bucket would draw the Beatnickers to within 4, perhaps 3. Garcia crossover dribble, jump pass to Jacob Nichols. Shot is up and missed. It's short. And the rebound over to Jaden Koenig is 4th. Long pass to Kirchenslager against Brown. Slams into him, puts it up and in, and they're going to count it. A blocking foul, and Ken Garcia is not happy. He slammed into Jake Brown, and Kirchenslager looking to convert the 3-point play. Brown commits his first foul. That's a huge call against Brush.
That's a momentum changer.
Well, they haven't counted the basket yet, not on the board. Should be 28-20. Yeah, they have not counted the basket.
See how many free throws he shoots here.
Well, maybe it's a 1-and-1. The free throw is up and in. I could say they didn't.
There, they got it now.
Yep, 29-20. 29 seconds to go in the first half. Dunker on the outside right to Garcia. Garcia dribbling towards the top, gets a pick, and he's fouled. That'll be the 17th foul. Garcia with a 1-and-1, but the Beatniggers have got to shoot free throws well. Foul was committed by Trevor Kirchenschlager, his first. And Garcia to the stripe where he is 0 out of 2. And this is a full three-possession game right now, and Brush playing their worst quarter offensively of the season. Garcia bends, shoots, connects. Second free throw coming up for the sophomore, Austin Garcia, with 22.2 seconds to go, and the Beatniggers down by 8. Garcia spins the basketball, shoots, and that one is around and no good. Kirchenschlager has the rebound. 40% of the Beatniggers from the line. That's going to earn them a loss unless they turn it around. Butel pressures the backcourt, stolen by Duncan. Here's Rosenbrock, reverse layup. Open end by Rosenbrock off the Dunker's heel. He's been very good defensively in this game. Here's Michael Howe to Koenig, free in the air, is a brick. Austin Garcia has the rebound with 1 second to go. And that is the end of the opening half. All the Beatniggers could have been in worse trouble. They're only down by 6. Yuma 29, Brush 23. A 3-minute break on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com. John Beltran, Jen Goodall back in Yuma with the Beatniggers. Go to the third quarter, trailing the Indians 29-23. The Indians with a 3-point lead after 1, and they outscored the Beatniggers by 3 in the second. So now it's time for Brush to make some noise here in the third quarter. And even though this is a non-league game, not even in the same classification, this could be Brush's best opponent the entire regular season. And Yuma's obviously very talented.
And this is only going to help them for the tournament time. When you see a team like this early in the season that makes you push and do some things differently, that's going to be an asset at the end of the year.
Cranston, Dunker, Baker, who's played very little because of foul trouble. Rosenbrock and Tormollen for Brush. Both Koenigs are in there for Yuma, along with Monty Belize, Brody Butel, and Michael Howell. And we begin the third. Beatnigger basketball. Dunker into the front court. Bounce pass to Cranston against Butel. Down low for Baker in the lane. Leans, shoots, and scores. Actually faded, and he scored. With the ball just lipping off the rim on that fadeaway by Baker. 29-25. The other way, Koenig with the basketball. Now Justin Koenig, he hits on the left baseline. Yuma comes right back every time and scores when the Beatniggers do. Here's Baker, left baseline with the basketball, and he travels. Baker commits Brush's 12th turnover. It'll be Yuma basketball as the Indians lead the Beatniggers 31-25. And all of a sudden, Monty Belize, no, he's not out of the game, just getting play instructions from his head coach, Bob Rahm. Brody Butel to throw it into the backcourt. Over to Belize, back to Butel. Picked up by Dunkers. Butel at the top of the three-point circle, right of the lane. Hands it off over there to Koenig. Koenig with a basketball, dribbles against Dunker, spinning right to the lane, and his shot is blocked out of there by Baker, but the ball is loose, and it is picked up by Butel on the right side with the basketball. Koenig, then that pass tipped away by Dunker, and then Dunker is going to bank, and he's going to miss it, but he's fouled as the Beatniggers forced a turnover. Dunker to the line. And I got to tell you, Dunker's defense tonight has been terrific. Justin Koenig commits the foul, and that's going to be his third. However, Dunker's free throw shooting, as he makes the first, has been awful. But now he's 2 out of 5 after hitting that free throw. And Koenig is out, and Chase Murphy is in. Yuma leads 31-26. Second free throw upcoming for Jeffrey Dunker. Spins, shoots, scores. Yuma 31, Brush 27. 1 minute into the third quarter. With the basketball, Butel against Dunker. On the outside, left to Murphy. Gets a pick. Hands it off to Butel. Dribbles to his right against Dunker. Crossover dribble. Back out to Murphy. Murphy to his right with the basketball. Nearly traveled. There's Butel in the left corner. And then that cross-court pass tipped away by Cranston. Ball's headed out of bounds. It looked like Cranston was being pushed. And it's going to be Beetinger basketball anyway. Ball went off of Yuma. That's 12 turnovers for each team. And Cranston to throw it in the backcourt to Dunker. 31-27 Yuma with 6:37 to go, third quarter. Cranston down low for Baker. Double team. Then he tries to force up a shot, and it's tipped away. Taken away by Howe, and then he loses the ball to Baker. Baker to Rosenbrock, and that ball is thrown away. Teams exchange turnovers. Koenig in the left corner for Howe. Picked up by Tormo. It should have been a whistle, I think, against Baker. I think the Beetinger's got a major break there. Butel, the outside right against Dunker in the lane. Back out Murphy, wide open three is off the back of the rim. Rosenbrock checked that. Cranston went for the rebound instead. Down low, and Michael Howe banks and scores. Up a beautiful save over there by the Indians. 33-27. The Yuma lead is up to 6. 5:53 to go, third quarter. Beetingers are the bridesmaids so far. Left baseline, Rosenbrock all the way, banks and scores. Strong move by Kyle Rosenbrock. 33-29. They just have been unable to overtake the Indians. Here is Koenig against Baker. Jump pass to Butel, left of the lane, back out to Murphy. Murphy against Tormolen, swings it to Butel. Timeout, 30-second timeout called by the Indians. We'll keep it right here with 5:32 to go. Jen just looking for that one run. The Beetingers haven't had the run tonight. They've had points here and there, but not that one run they need to overtake this team. But I tell you what, we're seeing two great teams tonight.
They're coming close because some of those tips, some of those steals just happen to be poked away the other direction and fall into their, it's very close to happening, I think.
Yeah, I don't see how either of these teams does not make the final eight of their respective tournaments.
No, I think both teams are going to do very, very well at the end of the season here.
Jaden Koenig to throw it into the right of the Yuma bench. And Randy Baker right on top of him as he throws it in. Koenig, jump pass over to Felice. Felice with the basketball at the top. Looking to his right against Cranston with a crossover dribble, spinning it back out. Bounce pass to Butel against Dunker, back out to Felice. Felice to his left against Cranston. Spinning on Cranston in the lane. Bounce pass down low to Murphy. And he threw it away too low. And he missed the target. Turnover for Yuma is their 14th.
This is going to be a very valuable possession right here. We need to put one down.
Dunker for Brush on the high right to Baker. Baker walked. Oh, that was a bad walk. He took about 2 steps before he dribbled. He wanted to make a move so badly. And there's no doubt that Baker's off his game tonight.
Well, sometimes when you get that early foul trouble and you sit that long, you don't get the flow of the game.
There's no rhythm, yeah. I mean, he's a very good player, but he's still looking for the rhythm here. Butel right of the lane. Forces up a shot, misses. Tormolen with a rebound for the Beetingers. His 7th rebound. The outlet to Dunker. Got to look out for behind. Dunker nearly stripped left baseline. Cross court to Baker. Baker all the way. Leans, shoots, foul as he misses. Baker to the line. That's a strong move by Randy Baker. And Michael Howe commits the foul. That is his second. Baker to shoot 2. Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan. It's equitable savings and loan with locations in Fort Morgan and Brush. The free throw by Baker is in. Remember when Brush was 17 out of 30 last Tuesday against University, Baker was 12 out of 14. The Beetingers to within 3. 4:50 to go, third quarter. Second free throw is off to the right. Trevor Kirchenslinger has the rebound on the outlet to Koenig. Jump pass to Butel. Butel with the basketball. Looking, cross-court pass to Felice. Felice on the outside, left to Koenig. Picked up by Dunker. Crossover dribble. 4:35 to go, third quarter. Yuma 33, Brush 30. On the high right, Butel with the basketball, guarded by Rosenbrock. Crossover dribble to his right. Rosenbrock falls down. The lead by Butel partially blocked. Ball is loose, and we've got a foul as Chase Murphy went up. Jeffrey Dunker, I think, committed the foul. Murphy will go to the line for Dunker. That is his second foul. And here is Chase Murphy for Yuma. The Indians have scored just 4 points so far in the quarter, but they've been better for the free throw line. Beetingers, though, are 3 out of 4 in the second half, and the free throw is in. Yuma back up to a 4-point lead of 34-30. Here's Bryce Needens into the game. Out there with Austin Garcia, Kyle Rosenbrock, Mitch Tormolin, and Jeffrey Dunker. Second free throw upcoming for Chase Murphy. That's in the air, and that is deep. Mitch Tormolin with another rebound. That's his 8th. Tormolin looking for the outlet. Gets it in Needens. Needens across the timeline at the top to Dunker, and Dunker's fouled from behind. That'll be the 13th foul on Yuma. Off that entry pass. And the foul is committed by Jaden Koenig, his second. Garcia to throw it into the left of the basket. This game has been tight all the way. Tormolin right baseline. Jump pass back out to Needens. 3 in the air is short. And Brody Butel is fouled. Oh, that was not a good foul by Tormolin. Butel clearly had the rebound. And Tormolin took him to the ground. His third foul, and rarely do you see a mistake like that from a very intelligent player by Tormolin, just wasting a foul there. And now he's out of the game, and Jake Brown is in. With 4:08 to go, third quarter, Yuma 34, Brush 30. The inbounds pass to Koenig. In the backcourt, guarded by Needens. Crossover dribble. Into the front court. Needens picks it back up. Koenig with a basketball. Hands it off to Butel. Butel against Dunker. Spinning on Dunker. Over to Felice. Felice against Garcia. Outside right to Koenig. Against Bryce Needens. At the top for Kirchenschlager. Now to Felice. Felice behind the three-point line to Butel. Fakes the 3, steps in. Little 12-footers up and short. And he's fouled by Brown on the follow-through. And Brown knew it. Second foul against Jake Brown. And Brody Butel has been perfect from the strike tonight. He's 4-4. And again, the Beatniggers unable to get over the hump. They're right there, but they need a short run to tie this game. And the free throw by Butel is short. Oh, Yuma getting a little bit cold. 1 out of 3 here in the quarter. Second free throw coming for Brody Butel. That one is up, and that one's in. Butel now with 8 points. Yuma 35, Brush 30, 3:38 to go in the third. Dunker for Brush, picked up by Koenig. On the outside right with the basketball. Maintains with dribble. Penetrates, cut off in the right corner, back out to Garcia. To Needens straight away. Needens left of the lane, bodied up. Needens straight away to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock with the basketball, looking down low. Down low to Needens. Needens fades from 6. Yes! Oh, nice job. Rosenbrock to Needens. Needens now with 5 in the game. The Beatniggers to within 3. Yuma 35, Brush 32. Kirchenschlager with the basketball straight away to Felice. Now here's a 3 by Butel. That is no good. Rebound Felice, and his rainbow is off the back of the rim. And the rebound to Bryce Needens at Brush. Now the Beatniggers the other way. A 3 could tie the game. Garcia in the front court behind his back, and he's fouled. Oh, Garcia got away with one going behind the back because Felice nearly pickpocketed him. Instead, Felice commits his second foul. The Indians with 3 team fouls, the Beatniggers with 4, with 2:51 to go in the third quarter. Garcia gets it into Needens. Needens with the basketball against Kirchenschlager. Needens dribbles to his right. Bounce pass near the top to Dunker. Dunker lobs it down low for Rosenbrock. Gets a defender in the air. And Chase Murphy falls on Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock could not even go for the shot. So Murphy commits his first foul, the team's 4th. Rosenbrock to throw it in. That's too bad, because he had an easy layup. But if a guy falls on top of you, nothing you can really do.
Well, that was a great ball fake.
Oh, and Rosenbrock's fantastic at doing that. Garcia to trigger it in. Garcia still looking. Bounce pass down low for Rosenbrock, and it's kicked out of bounds by Monty Felice. Beatniggers retain possession. Garcia to throw it in. With 2:37 remaining third quarter. Yuma 35, Brush 32. Right corner pass for Rosenbrock. Back out to Needens. Now to Garcia. Long 3 in the air. That is way short. And Dunker goes for the rebound. Instead taken by Koenig. Brody Butel wants to run. Butel middle of the lane. Leans from 10. Scores. Butel now with 10 points in the game. Yuma back up by 5. 37-32. 2:19 to go third quarter. Needens with a basketball on the outside right behind his back. Over to Garcia. Garcia against Butel. Penetrates right baseline. Lean, shoots. Offensive foul on Garcia. As Chase Murphy took the contact. And the Beatniggers commit their 15 turnover. It's going the other way. Let's see if Garcia's going to be taken out here. That would be a good idea. He's struggling right now. Tormolen is in, as is Cranston for Garcia and Rosenbrock. Yeah, that is definitely the right move by head coach Ken Garcia, especially given that call. Butel to throw it in to Belize. 37-32 Yuma, approaching the 2-minute mark in the third quarter. Butel into the front court against Dunker. Back out to Koenig. Koenig dribbles by Dunker, and then he's stripped from behind, but the ball is not going to bounce by Dunker. It stays with the Indians, and the Beatniggers now have a huge defensive stand they've got to make right now with a minute 57 to go in the third.
Their mentality has to be steal or stop in 4.
Butel to throw it in, over to Murphy. Back out to Belize. Now here's Koenig. In the left corner, Butel penetrates left baseline. Bounce pass to Kirchenschlager. In the lane. That's got to be 3 seconds. It is.
There it is.
Traffic violation either way. He was in there forever. Number 15 committed by the Indians with a minute 49 to go. Pressure being applied. Nadens with a bounce pass from Dunker in the backcourt. Nadens for Brush. The Beatniggers can draw to within 3 or 2 with a 3-pointer. Terrible bounce pass. Intercepted by Butel. Bounce pass down low. And it's not going to bounce by Cranston. So the Beatniggers threw it away, but Cranston did not come back for that basketball, and that was part of the issue there. He allowed the Yuma defender to cut off that angle. Michael Howe comes in for Trevor Kirchenschlager. And Butel with a minute 36 remaining in the third to throw it in. Butel inside to Howe, and Howe traveled. Good call, no doubt. He shuffled his feet. Rush basketball. Neither team in the rhythm they need to be in. Jacob Brown is out. Ben Mickey is in. Bounce pass into Bryce Nadens. Let's see if Rush can pick up a basket here. At the top for Cranston. Cranston with a basketball. Dribbling left of the lane all the way. Scoops it up, and that is short. And Cranston tips it away in the backcourt off the steal after he missed it. The rebound was grabbed initially by Michael Howe. Beatniggers reset. Nadens 3 off to the left. And the ball is loose, and I think we've got a foul on Yuma. We do. Ben Mickey was fouled. And he was fouled, I think, by either Chase Murphy or Monty Belize. And it's going to be Monty Belize's third. Beatnigger basketball. Trevor Kirchenschlager will check in for Belize. That is the 16th foul. The Beatniggers with only 4 with a minute 11 to go in the third. Nadens to throw it in. Still looking. Over to Cranston. Cranston with a basketball. Cranston fades. Gets it to Dunker. His shot is up and no good. And the rebound controlled by Michael Howe. Into the front court. Here comes Butel in the right corner. The jump pass by Kirchenschlager tipped away. Intercepted by Brush. Here's Cranston the other way over to Tormolen. Tormolen to Cranston in the right corner. Dribbles right in the lane. Pulls up from 10. And that is no good. Butel with a rebound. Nearly a tie up in the backcourt. The Beatniggers just did not hit the shots all the way. Michael Howe! And he goes down hard. Boy, Drake Cranston with the foul. And Michael Howe is hurt. He went down hard. An intentional foul. I think he actually went for the ball. Howe will shoot 2. And Yuma retains possession of the basketball. You know, I think Howe might have been going for a dunk. But that will be an intentional foul on Trey Cranston. Michael Howe to the line. Or as they call it, a flagrant.
Yeah, flagrant foul. And I'm glad he's up at the locker. He did fall pretty hard, knocked the wind out of him. I hope nothing else.
Yeah, I mean,
it becomes apparent.
It's a good call by the official. Michael Howe to shoot 2. 37.5 seconds to go in the third. And the Indians leading by 5. They have led the entire game. The Beatniggers have been hanging around, but unable to overtake the Indians.
Okay, now they're going to bring it 7. I don't know.
Yeah, and instead, Connor Black will attempt the free throw. And Howe gets up limping.
He fell pretty hard on that hit.
Yeah, he did. Black with the free throws, and Yuma will have the ball. The first free throw is up and in. Connor Black. It's a 6-point game. Second free throw in the air, and that's good. The Indians led 29-20 in the second quarter, so they haven't lost much of that lead now, up by 7. And Butel to throw it in. Underneath the brush basket, Butel lobs it on the outside left to Koenig. Koenig against Needham. Stripped by Needham. Ball loose on the floor. Needham tries to get it over to one of his teammates, and now it's loose near midcourt. And we've got a time, but it'll stay with Yuma. It will stay with Yuma as the possession arrow is pointing in their direction. And right now we got a football game going on out there. And these balls are loose on the floor. These teams with their athleticism are giving it their all. 29.6 seconds to go in the third. The Indians to throw it in. Possession arrow now in Brush's favor. Well, why is it pointing that way? I thought it was a possession arrow.
No, he called a timeout. Brush called timeout.
Yeah, but I think Yuma has the basketball. And I thought that was a tie-up situation. 30-second timeout brought to you by Greg Mullen and State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. All auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. Well, the Beatnickers are a second-half team tonight. They've got 8 minutes and 29.6 seconds to do so. They've been outscored in the quarter by only a point, 10-9. But again, Brush has not won a quarter tonight. They didn't do it in the girls' game. They haven't done it in the boys' game. They're losing by just a little bit each and every quarter. Jaden Koenig to throw it in out there with Connor Black, Brody Butel, Trevor Kirchenschlager, and Chase Murphy. The Beatnickers with Jeffrey Dunker, Jacob Nichols, Bryce Needham, Trey Cranston, and Ben Mickey. Yuma basketball. Gets it into Butel, guarded by Cranston. Dribbling towards the top. There's going to be lots of free throws taken in the fourth quarter because of the team fouls. 6 against Yuma, 5 against Brush. Murphy with the basketball. Back out to Butel. 15 seconds to go. Near the timeline to Koenig. Swings it left side to Black. Guarded by Dunker. Bounce pass to Butel. 9 seconds remaining. Butel on the outside left crossover dribble. Lost the basketball. Maintains the dribble. 3 seconds to go. Butel is going to have to pull something up in the right corner. Here is Butel's shot. That is an air ball. And that's the end of the third quarter with a score. Yuma 39. Brush 32 on 1010 KSIR. KSIR.com. 39-32. Yuma leads Brush as they're going for the sweep tonight after the Lady Indians defeated the Beatnickers 61-39. 7-point lead going to the fourth. Mitch Tormolen, Randy Baker, Jake Brown, Austin Garcia, and Kyle Rosenbrock. And for Yuma, Chase Murphy, Brody Butel, Jaden Koenig, Justin Koenig, and Monty Belize. It will be Beatnicker basketball to begin the fourth, and the Beatnickers cannot lose another quarter. They lost 15-12, 14-11, and 10-9 over the first three. They've got to dominate this quarter. Rosenbrock left to the lane. Back out to Garcia in the left corner. He'll put up a three. Good for Austin Garcia. That's a big triple. Rush to within 4, 39-35. He'll tell the other way for Yuma. Picked up by Garcia at the free throw line, spinning in the lane. In the right corner, here's a shot by Belize, and that is short. And Mitch Tormolen has the rebound for the Beatnickers. That's his ninth on the outlet to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock on the high right with the basketball, picked up by Murphy. Rosenbrock towards the top, bounce pass to Baker. Baker jump pass, left wing. Garcia will take another three, and that's an air ball. It's out of bounds off of Jaden Koenig. Garcia's got to be very selective with those shots. And the Beatnickers got to need a flow of offense inside out. He must have felt that after that first three, he was going to nail that one, but hard to score points with this game. Murphy is out, Michael Heil is in. Garcia looking, gets it into Rosenbrock on the right baseline. Rosenbrock with the basketball. Dribbling to his left. Rosenbrock in the corner, bounce pass down low for Brown. That is the 17th foul. Foul from behind by Monty Belize. Belize commits his fourth. 1-1 situation. Jake Brown, who scored 4 points, will shoot one and perhaps a second. Trevor Kirchenschlager into the game for Monty Belize. As brushes to within 4. Brown dribbles, shoots, and misses the free throw. And the rebound to Justin Koenig. Here comes Yuma the other way. Jaden Koenig leads from 14, yes. Koenig with 13 points in the game, 41-35 Yuma. 6:55 to go from the pitch. Garcia on the high right to Rosenbrock, looking for a pick from Tormolen. Crossover dribble at the free throw line, outside left Garcia, 3 in the air. and that's off to the right. Rebounded for Mullen. Kicks it back out, but he throws it away. Here comes Yuma the other way. Butel down low for Kirchenschlager. Banks, and he misses. Rebound Kirchenschlager. Blocked out of bounds by Mullen. Yuma retains possession. Up by 6:35 to go. Butel to throw it in. Down low to Howe. Howe fades. Hook scored. Michael Howe now has 8 in the game. Yuma 43, Brush 35. 6:26 to go from Yuma. Garcia for Brush. Back out to Baker. Baker with the basketball on the outside left. Back out to Garcia. Garcia gets it big from Tormolen. Spins. Backs out to Brown. Brown in the right corner. Jump pass to Rosenbrock. Down low for Baker in the lane. Baker kicks it out to Garcia. Wide open 3 in the air, and that's good. That's a big shot for Austin Garcia and the Beatnickers. They needed that one badly. They're down by 5, 43-38, 5:55 to go in the game. And the Beatnickers get over the hump. Butel hands it off to Kirchenschlager, right of the lane, back out to Koenig. Against Baker, hands it off to Butel. Crossover dribble, down to Justin Koenig. His shot is up and good. And Yuma is red hot every time the Beatnickers score. Yuma comes right back. Timeout. 5:41 to go. Fourth quarter. Yuma 45. Brush 38 on 1010 KSIR. KSIR.com. Beatnicker basketball. Jeffrey Dunker has it in the front court. Swings it right side to Rosenbrock. Over to Randy Baker on the right baseline. Baker double team. Dribbles to his right. Trapped in the corner. Kicks it back out. Intercepted by Koenig. Here come the Indians the other way. Justin Koenig with the basketball. Lobs it to Butel. 45-38 Yuma. 5:15 to go. Butel lean shoots in and out, and he's fouled. That could have put him up by 10. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Beatnicker foul committed by Jeffrey Dunker, his third. Butel at the stripe. First free throw is up and in. 11 points for Brody Butel. It's a 46-38 Yuma lead. Second free throw is in the air, and that's in as well. Both the Yuma boys and girls will be competing for the state championship this year, no doubt about it. Jeffrey Dunker for Brush with a 9-point deficit for the Beatnickers now with 5:05 to go in the game. Back out to Baker. Baker in the lane. Going to have to back it out to Garcia. Jump pass to Baker. Little 14-footer is well short. Rebounded by Michael Howe. And here's Kirchenschlager the other way, stripped by Dunker. Here come the Beatnickers. Bounce pass to Baker. He leans, shoots, and scores for Randy Baker, who's got 5.5, and that's what he's got in the game. But Brush is still down by 7 here, 47-40, 4:39 to go. Butel guarded by Dunker in the fourth court, dribbling to his right on the right baseline, kicks it back out to Kirchenschlager, and his three is blocked by Rosenbrock, and then he's fouled. Kirchenschlager commits a foul after Rosenbrock blocked the shot. Rosenbrock to the line, but now he's got to hit free throws. Kirchenschlager with his second foul. And Chase Murphy back into the game. Beatnickers have got to score on virtually every possession now. I mean, there is 4.5 to go, but considering that Yuma seems to counter every time, you've got to be one better every time.
Especially with the clock stop.
Yeah. But the free throw shooting for Brush has been iffy in this game. That free throw's up and in by Kyle Rosenbrock. Second free throw upcoming. The Beatnickers have been down by as many as 9 twice. Second free throw is up and around and good. Now they're down by 5, 47-42 with 4:31 to go. Can they pull this off? It'd be so sweet to win this at the end when you've been trailing the whole game. They have the ability, but they've got to make some defensive stops. Koenig across midcourt, spinning on Dunker, back out to Butel. In the left corner, Murphy with a basketball. 47-42, 4:18 to go. Butel in the lane is stripped by Rosenbrock, taken away by Needham. Needham has the ball in the back court. Rosenbrock was open momentarily, couldn't get it to him. Needham leans, and then his jump pass was a terrible pass. I don't know what he was doing with it, and then it's taken away by Michael Howe. Here comes Jaden Koenig spinning on Dunker in the front court. Back out to Howe. Howe over to Butel. Butel with 3:55 to go in the game. I don't know what Needham saw. Long three in the air, partially blocked by Howe. It's Tormolen has it for Brush. Here comes Jeffrey Dunker. Beatniggers can draw to within 3. Dunker with the basketball between his legs, left of the lane. Left corner, Needham's 3 is short. And the ball is rebounded over there by Justin Koenig. Brush is missing too many shots. Here's Koenig in the backcourt. Jump pass, nearly stolen by Garcia, taken by Butel. Butel in the lane, over to Koenig, left baseline shot, no good. And Mitch Mullen has the rebound. Saved to the Garcia. It's a 2-on-4. Garcia's going to have to back it out. 3:50 to go. Yuma 47, Brush 42. A tremendous game for the Pit, but the Beatniggers have trailed the entire contest. Bounce pass to the top for Rosenbrock, guarded by Koenig. On the high right to Tormollen, picked up by Chase Murphy. 3 minutes to go. Here's Dunker, left of the lane, all the way, lean, shoot, and an offensive foul as he missed. Justin Koenig took the charge. Dunker with his 4th foul, and Jen, that could have gone either way, quite frankly.
It could have, and that's up to the official and what he thought.
Yeah, exactly. That was pretty subjective, but Yuma basketball. 2:57 to go, and the Beatniggers trailing 47-42. Robin Butel picked up a midcourt by Dunker. Spinning on Dunker. In the lane, pulls up from 10, around, and no good. And the ball is out of bounds off of Justin Koenig, Beatnigger basketball. Remember, 18 fouls for Yuma, 7 for Brush. So we're going to see free throws here towards the end. Beatniggers don't want to be in a position where they have to foul. But if they can't make any shots, they might have to extend the game. Garcia for Brush with 2:35 to go. On the outside left of the basketball. Bounce pass to the top for Dunker. On the high right to Rosenbrock. Down low for Tormollen. Double team. Kicks it back out to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock over to Dunker. Off his hands. Taken by Needhams. Needhams leans to the lane. Looks like he was fouled. And then he throws it away. Oh, I don't know what happened there. His Butel the other way. And he's fouled as he drove to the basket. Needhams has committed 2 horrendous turnovers here in the last couple of minutes. I think he thought he was fouled, but you still have to follow through if the whistle doesn't blow. And the foul was committed over there by Rosenbrock.
Yeah, he's getting a little wrapped up in what he's not getting called instead of just keep going.
And the free throw is around and good by Butel. The Beatniggers with 2:17 to go are down by 2 possessions. It could be 3 if Butel makes this free throw. And that one is up and that one is in. 49-42 Yuma. 2:14 remaining. Here comes Jeffrey Dunker for Brush. This place is really getting loud. Dunker motioning the offense, pulling right baseline. Bounce pass to Deedon. Deedon spades in the lane, shoots and scores. That's a big bucket by Bryce Deedon. Timeout Beatniggers brought to you by Greg Mullen of State Farm Insurance. We'll take it with them. 2:01 to go in the game. Yuma 49, Brush 44 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. It'll be the Indians basketball with 2:01 to go in the game. Yuma 49, Brush 44 after Bryce Needhams just scored. Chase Murphy, Justin Koenig, Jaden Koenig, along with Monty Belize and Brody Butel for Yuma. Jeffrey Dunker, Jake Brown, Kyle Rosenbrock, Austin Garcia, Mitch Tormollen for Brush. Butel in the backcourt with the basketball. Let's see if Yuma takes the air out of the basketball. Butel crossing the timeline in the right corner for Koenig. Back out to Butel. Spinning on Dunker. Over to Jaden Koenig at the top for Chase Murphy. Bounce pass to Justin Koenig. Picked up by Garcia. Outside right to Butel. Guarded by Dunker. Swings it at the top for Koenig. Now they've taken up 25 seconds on this possession. Beatniggers might just have to foul here. Murphy with the basketball against Tormollen. And then the bounce pass tipped away, but it's taken away by Koenig, and then he's fouled. And Koenig to the line. And the Beatnigger foul is committed by Austin Garcia. That'll be his second. That's the danger with Jeffrey Dunker. He's a great defensive player, but he's got 4 fouls.
Right.
So he's got to be rather careful. And now Baker's into the game for Tormollen. That's the 19th foul against Brush. Your best hope is for, obviously, Koenig to miss either the first free throw. I mean, it's a 1-and-1. And this one is up, and that one is off to the left. Kyle Rosenbrock has a 7th rebound. Beatniggers can make this a 3-point game or a 2 worth of 3. 1:22 to go. Dunker with the basketball. Bounce pass to the top for Baker. Baker against Belize. Looking to his right. Baker dribbles into the lane. He leads, he shoots, and he misses, but he's fouled. Oh, it almost went down for Randy Baker. But he'll go to the line, fouled by Chase Murphy.
he's a very good free throw shooter when he wants to be, and he's very competitive as well. So
Murphy commits his second foul. They can make it a one-possession game. The free throw is up and perfect for Randy Baker. Baker with 6 points all in this half. Yuma 49, Brush 45. We still have a minute 13 to go. Baker bends, shoots, and connects. 49-46. Well, hopefully the Denver Post does not drop anybody in the rankings. Not that that matters for the loser of this game. You got two 8-0 teams.
And well, someone's got to lose.
Exactly. Butel in the backcourt to Jaden Koenig, guarded by Jake Brown. Dribbles along the sideline. The jump pass in the backcourt to Butel against Rosenbrock, and Rosenbrock commits the foul. It's not declared a foul. Butel's an excellent free throw shooter. Rosenbrock with his second personal. Yeah, that is not the right guy to foul. Butel at the line is 9 out of 10 tonight. So more than likely, he's going to make at least one free throw. This one is up, and that one is good. Yeah, you can't trade 2 for 2 now. 50-46 Yuma, minute 4 to go. 64 seconds remaining. Tormolen out. And then is Randy Baker. Second free throw for Butel is in the air, and that's good as well. Yeah, foul anybody else, but not Butel. Now he's 11 out of 12. A minute to go, 51-46. Dunker at the top of the basketball on the outside right to Brown. Beatnickers might need a 3. And then the ball thrown away almost, taken by Garcia. Garcia against Butel, right side. Rosenbrock down low, the pass is tipped out of bounds. Intended for Brown. Tipped out of bounds by Koenig. 48 seconds to go. Yeah, you might need a 3 here just to make it a 2-point game. Rosenbrock back out to Baker. Over to Dunker. Dunker with 44 takes a shot. That's off the back of the rim. Rebound to Koenig. That could be it for the Beatnickers. On the outlet here to Beauty Butel. Can't foul him. He falls down. No traveling violation. Now here's Monty Valise. Baseball pass. Back to Murphy. Over to Butel. Down low. Koenig. Little shot is up again on the left baseline. For Justin Koenig. That's going to do it. Beatnickers down by 7. 20 seconds to go. Garcia, long 3 is banked in. Holy mahongas, they get a long 3 from about 30. Timeout. Rush. Brought to you by Greg Bond at State Farm Insurance. The third 3 in the quarter by Garcia, 53-49. It looked like Yuma put it away, and they still have a 2-possession lead. But you cannot foul Yuma at this point. I mean, you might have to foul him, but at this point, a steal is what they really need because Yuma has countered every single time the Beatnickers have scored. It seems like that, Jen.
Well, and a lot of times what the coaches are going to tell you to do is try to get the least amount of time to come off the clock. So therefore, like, if they're setting a screen or whatever, you foul then if you cannot get the steal on the inbound. Something that is going to allow you to get time to remain, and you want to pick somebody that has not been shooting free throws or somebody that is fairly cold at shooting free throws.
Well, you cannot pick Butel.
Right.
Out of the question.
And I'm sure that he's telling them that. Do not let him. So I look for Jeffrey or maybe even Jake Brown to deny him.
Let's see, Butel to throw it in. 18.2 seconds to go in the backcourt. Looking, leaning, gets it over to Murphy. Then it's taken away by Koenig, and he traveled. Looked like a traveling violation by Monty Valise. Turnover number 21 already for Yuma. The Beatnickers have committed 19.
Now it's 4 seconds off the clock, though. That's
right.
That's the scary part.
14.5 seconds to go. Garcia to throw it in. Beatnickers must score this possession, or they cannot win the game. Instead, they'll take a timeout, and we will keep it right here. Well, Brush has won this quarter, but the problem was they barely lost the first 3 quarters, 15-12, 14-11, and 10-9. Now they've outscored Yuma in this quarter, 17-14, but that, unfortunately, the offense has been good, but it's not enough. Yeah. So now they've got to score here, and they don't need a 3 because they're within 4 points.
Right.
Just a 2.
They need a quick hit, and then they need to get on defense on press, some kind of denial pressure or something where they're going to get a trap and get a steal. Look for the pickoff.
Well, I think Bryce Needens is coming in, and they need him in the game because the 2 3-point shooters on this team are Needens and Garcia. Needens tonight has a 3-pointer. He's got 7 points in the game.
Well, Needens has also got really fine touch around the rim. He's got, that nice little runner that he can do as well.
Here we go for Brush. Garcia, Edens, Dunker, Rosenbrock, and Baker. That's a solid 5 out there. They can all produce offensively. Garcia to throw it in. Looking for the bucket. Garcia to Edens. Right corner, 3 in the air, and that is off the back of the rim, and that's going to be it. Dunker commits the foul. Dunker is gone. He fouls out. As the rebound was grabbed by Monty Felice. 10.3 seconds to go. But they got the look.
They did. They had a really good, wide-open look. They ran it and executed it just right. Just missed the shot.
Monty Felice to shoot 2. And let's see who Dunker is going to be replaced by.
Well, and Garcia's trying to freeze the free throw shooter a little bit. Taking his time.
You have 30 seconds.
Right. There's the buzzer for that. He needs to get a player in.
And that will be Trey Cranston. And he's another decent three-point shooter.
Right.
But you got to have one miss here. I mean, a miracle. You got to have one miss, hit a 3, you're down by only 2, and then maybe come up with a steal. Free throw by Felice is in. Second free throw upcoming for Monty Felice. The left-hander shoots, and that's good as well. 55-49. Here's Needhams, 8 seconds to go into the front court. Pulls up for a 3. That is short. Baker goes for the rebound. It's out of bounds, and it's off of Yuma. And Monty Felice, only 3.7 seconds to go. The Beatniggers will lose for the first time this year. Garcia to throw it in. Great ball game tonight. Garcia to Rosenbrock to Garcia. Right corner 3. That's an air ball, and that's the game. Monty Felice pass the ball. And the Brush Beatniggers have lost for the first time this season. A very close game in Yuma. Final score, Yuma 55, Brush 49. A 2-minute break on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Jen Goodall back for the pits at Yuma with the Brush Beatniggers were swept tonight. Lady Indians defeated the Beatniggers 61-39, and the Yuma boys defeated Brush 55-49. Beatnigger post-game show brought to you by Buildings by Design. Buildings by Design and Brush takes pride in their workmanship and quality of their relationships with clients. For a free bid, call Pat Walter, 842-5837, Building Today's Business. Buildings by Design. The Beatniggers trailed 15-12 after 1, 29-23 at the break, 39-32 after 3. They kept inching closer, but Yuma responded every time. Brush only outscored Yuma 17-16 in the fourth as Yuma improves to 9-0. Beatniggers dropped to 8-1. After the 55-49 win. Beatniggers tonight were led by Austin Garcia with 12 points. 8 in the game from Kyle Rosenbrock, 7 apiece from Bryce Needhams and Randy Baker. And then you had 5 points in the game from Jeffrey Dunker, 4 apiece from Jake Brown and Mitch Tormolen, 2 points for Trey Cranston. As for Yuma, they got 16 points in the game from Brody Butel, 13 from Jaden Koenig, Justin Koenig with 10, 8 points from Michael Howell. 3 points in the game from Trevor Kirchenschlager, 2 apiece by Connor Black, as well as Monty Felice. 1 free throw from Chase Murphy. Rebounding situation pretty similar, 29 apiece. The Beatniggers got 12 rebounds from Mitch Tormolen. Yuma got 6 in the game, a team high from Brody Butel. Turnover situation, Yuma with 21, the Beatniggers with 19. But Jen, so many times this year, the Beatniggers, even in these wins, have not shot well for the free throw line. That was the case again tonight. Yuma missed 8, so did Brush. However, Yuma was 20 out of 28, 71%. Beatniggers 11 out of 19, 57%. And I hate to say any loss is a good loss, but you're on the road against a very good team, extremely athletic. You didn't get blown out. You had a chance. You were within a couple of possessions of winning the game. I hate to say moral victory, but maybe you can say that.
Well, and, you know, losing now versus losing later in the season, it makes the boys stay hungry. You know, it's not just a cakewalk. They got to go back to work. They got to fix some things, come back, and go after Fort Morgan. And they have a short time to do that because we have Fort Morgan tomorrow.
That'll be on B106 and B106.com. Games at 5:30 and 7 from Brush. Serving you the best coffees, lattes, and smoothies. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies open 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. to better serve you and ready to make your favorite specialty drink or offer a sweet treat. Willow Coffee, Tea, and Smoothies, 921 Edison Street in Brush. And Morgan Community College. Don't let finances stand in your way of pursuing your college education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session that will get you on the right track and find out what options are available to help you. No matter what age you are at MCC, you can imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goal. And Brush's local Napa and Hardware Hanks and Small Engine Repair Shop is Hometown Auto and Hardware. Stop by and let them help you at Hometown Auto and Hardware at 1305 Addison Street in Brush. All right, it is now time for our Beat Digger Player of the Game. It's brought to you by T.O. Charlie's, 700 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. They will not be beat by anyone when it comes to price. They'll help you find a car that fits your needs and budget. If you don't see what you want, T.O. Charlie's will find it for you. Log on to TOCharliesFTM.com to view inventory, current specials, and apply for a loan online. Drive away with confidence at T.O. Charlie's. And he only scored 4 points tonight, but he made many contributions defensively. And when the Beat Diggers needed to get back in the game in the second quarter, we know who did that for Brush. A nice job tonight for the Beat Digger Player of the Game.
Jake Brown. I thought he was a great little spark plug in there. He didn't give up. He made some nice little short shots that kind of kept him in the realm of things, and I think he played tremendous defense. He had a couple block shots. He caused some turnovers for Yuma team, caused some havoc with that, and that's always a good thing.
The Beat Diggers once again dropped to 8-1 on the season after losing this game by a score of 55-49. We'll wait a couple of minutes to see if head coach Ken Garcia is going to join us, as he has for most of the games this season. You look at the Beat Diggers tonight, and for some reason, I guess when the shots weren't falling, it's funny, Jen, because the lead fluctuated from 3 to 6 to 7, twice to 9 points, and you never had the feeling really that Brush was going to win this game because Yuma kept responding every time the Beat Diggers scored.
It just didn't seem like it ever got to be 2 baskets in a row for Brush. It was like back and forth, and then it was Yuma with a shot, and then they'd come down and make free throws, or Yuma with a shot, and then it just never was.
And that's the way it happened with Yuma coming away with a 55-49 victory tonight. And we'll speak with head coach Ken Garcia as the Beat Diggers drop their first game of the year, 8 wins against now 1 loss. But when you look at this opponent tonight with the way the Beat Diggers have been playing this season, Coach, I mean, I know that you don't want moral victories, but you're playing a Yuma team that, like your team, is a state championship contender. This was a raucous crowd, a tough atmosphere. You were down by 9 a couple of occasions. You kept fighting back, and every time it seemed your team scored and you were inching closer, Yuma would just have the answer.
Yeah, that's certainly the way it looked tonight. We just couldn't get over the hump. We got down early. We kept trying to play catch-up, and we just couldn't quite get it done. We gave them, in my opinion, a little bit too many easy shots, uncontested shots, and, a good team like Yuma is, they're going to put them down.
How would you say your offense played throughout the course of the game? Because you did miss some shots, but unofficially I've got Brush with 19 turnovers, Yuma with 21, so it kind of evened itself out. But just 2 or 3 more positive possessions would have won you the game.
Yeah, I talked to the kids afterwards, and I told them, I said, we've got to get better at executing against good teams. I mean, you can do it against bad teams, but later on in the year, especially come tournament time, you're not going to run into bad teams. You're going to have to execute against good teams. And I didn't think that we did the job tonight that we needed to do. And then, it showed we never could catch up and get over the hump and get a lead.
You believe that both teams were matching each other's physicalities because you have such great athletes out there. You want to make sure you don't get sloppy with fouls. And Yuma was committing a few fouls early. Your team wasn't committing as many, but it looked like both teams were just scrapping out there. And the loose balls, those weren't loose balls. Those were fumbles in a football game. I mean, bodies were flying out there.
It definitely was a physical game. Yuma's a physical team. We need to be able to handle that physicality. Officials let a few things go, called some fouls here or there. That's the game of basketball. You can't hang your hat on that. You've got to just step up, man up, and continue to play. And, again, a couple of more positive possessions, a couple of free throws here or there, it's a different ball game. So I'm happy with that aspect of it. Obviously disappointed with the loss, but as long as we've learned something from tonight's game and make sure we apply it in our future games, then that's going to make us a better team. That's what we need to take away from tonight.
would you be surprised if Yuma wasn't the best team you faced throughout the course of the regular season? Because, I mean, they didn't have the greatest height. You know, they had a couple, but, I mean, there's not too many weaknesses on that team, which is the same story with your team. A lot of strengths and almost no weaknesses.
Well, you know, they were a part of the Patriot League for a long, long time, so, you know, we consider them, you know, just as important and just as valuable to test our team as any Patriot League team. So, you know, our Patriot League is tough, and Yuma's a tough team, and they can certainly compete in our Patriot League at any given year, you know, as this game attested to. So, you know, I'm glad that we had this test against a non-league team so that we understand that when we get to Valley and Eaton and we get to the tough games that we're going to have ahead of us, and they're not going to be easy, that we're a little bit more mentally prepared and that we're going to execute a little better than we did, cut down on the turnovers, the forced, you know, they had 2-3 charges and stuff like that, that we've got to clean up. And, you know, a 6-point ball game.
What about from the mental side, knowing you've got Fort Morgan tomorrow night in Brush, you beat them handily in Fort Morgan, and you should win that game even if you don't play your best game, but I'm sure you don't want your team to be mentally overly relaxed knowing that they should win the game by just walking out there and by executing, even if they don't bring their best game to the court.
Well, I told them in the locker room after the game, I said, you know, we need to learn from this. Now this game's over. So don't hang your head. We're still a good team. We played a decent ball game against a very good team, and it didn't come out our way. We've got more games ahead of us. That's one game. We need to put it in the back burner, learn from it, but not hang our hat on it and not sulk because we didn't win. We got to look forward to the next game, and that's Fort Morgan, and it doesn't matter who it is. We are going to go out, and we're going to focus, and we're going to put the lessons that we learned tonight, hopefully, into our game and make us a better team.
Ken, thanks as always for the time. Unfortunately, the Beat Diggers lost for the first time this year, but as you said, hopefully this make the Beat Diggers a better team going forward, and we'll see you tomorrow night in Brush after the Beat Diggers lost tonight to Yuma 55-49. Thanks again, Ken.
Thank you.
That's Beat Digger head coach Ken Garcia. The Beat Diggers dropped to 8-1 with a valiant effort tonight, coming back on several occasions, but just not getting over the hump and losing to the Indians by 6 points. All right, tomorrow night, B106 and B106.com, 5:30 and 7 for the boys and girls games as the Mustangs take on the Beat Diggers in Brush. Yuma girls defeat the Brush Beat Diggers tonight, 61-39. Yuma boys win 55-49 over Brush. Sound engineer and producer of Brush Beat Digger basketball, doing a great job as always, has been Rose Condis. For my broadcast partner, Chen Goodall, I'm John Beltran. You've been listening to Brush Beat Digger basketball on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.